Good morning. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. I do hope you are well. Really, really well. Jadon Sancho, the Man United, has taken a further step forward. Borussia Dortmund have conceded a slight defeat, and they will accept a lower transfer fee than first requested. They wanted somewhere in the region of 130 million. That has now been pushed down to around the 109 million pound mark. Dortmund have now struck back and tried to hit Manchester United with almost an ultimatum. Get this bid in, get this deal done by the 10th of August. Otherwise, we will not sell him. It's an interesting tactic from Borussia Dortmund. It truly is, to try and force Man United's hand into this deal. But as ever, I want to know what you think, what you feel, what you believe is going to happen in relation to this. Before we go any further, please hit the like button. Please hit the share button as well. Two of the very best ways that you can support us here at the Football Terrace. It truly, truly is. And, you know, I've said this deal is such an interesting one. It really, really is. I'm going to give you my views and opinions on that in a few moments. As I say, though, hit the like and share button. I was waiting for it to load up on the screen, actually. So I was going through the story a little bit this morning. And from my point of view, I can't help but think 109 million pounds just feels right. It just feels absolutely right for me, with the quality of personnel, the modern day world we're living in. We know how much these deals, as a general rule, cost to get done in the modern day world. And we're talking about a player who started his career off absolutely impeccably. Absolutely impeccably. He truly, truly has. And I think it's an absolute steal for Manchester United. I really, really do. But I want your views and opinions. I want to know what you think and feel. And to give you an example, if you look at the inflation within the football ecosystem since Wayne Rooney's signature, Wayne Rooney in the modern day world, if you look at the inflation, would cost you around 160 million pounds at 18 years of age. So from my point of view, I can't help but sit there and think to myself, get it done. The numbers, the performances, the outputs from Jadon Sancho for in his teenage years have been absolutely off the chart. We haven't seen anything like that from a young British player. In fact, we've barely seen something like that from any young European football player in the last 30 plus years. And that's an absolute fact. He has a 100% ratio of goals to game contributions in the Bundesliga, one of the top 5 leagues in Europe, and of course one of the top 5 leagues in the world. Get the deal done, Ed. The ball's now been put in your court. For me, I understand trying to get it down from that 120, 130 million pounds mark that they were first initially quoting. You seem to have got it down between 11 and 21 million pounds. That for me is enough. Get it done, get it secured. You'll have more Man United fans on side. You'll have more people feeling relaxed ahead of the season. We know the season is coming to an end, but more people will feel relaxed. More people will feel as though the club is moving in the right direction. I personally want to see that get done. I want to see this deal move forward. The next 3 or 4 days are going to be very, very interesting. We're still getting reports, and I was reading this. I read this tweet this morning from a journalist from the transfer market who says Bayern want 120 million euros for Sancho. The 19-year-old is not convinced that United is the right step in his career. Honestly, when I say this to you, it's a nonsense. We know that's a nonsense. And no disrespect to this guy whose name is Manuel Veth, I think is his name. Jadon Sancho has already told United on 2 occasions, once back in March and very recently, that he still wants to join the club. Man United is his preferred destination. And it's a total package. And this isn't about him rejecting the opportunity of Chelsea or rejecting the opportunity of going back to Manchester City. This is about him looking at the overall package. Where am I going to get game time? What is my squad status going to be? What is the pedigree of developing youth at that club? Can you afford to remunerate me in a way that my talent and my skill demands that I get paid, essentially? And these are all key factors. Key factors when it comes to the Jadon Sancho situation. From my point of view, I'm highly confident Man United will get this deal done. I said only 4 or 5 days ago, watch the next 10 plus days. We're going to see this deal move forward. We're going to see things move forward in a big way. It was first a story about terms have been agreed. You then get this story about ultimatums. And of course, Dortmund are going to issue this. It all just comes down to one thing. There's two elements that Man United need to be very, very mindful of here. One, we can't allow anybody to slide into our slipstream and get ahead of us and sign Sancho. We have to stay ahead of that. The second element is who's going to hold their nerve longest? If Man United go beyond the 10th of August and don't sign him, are we running the risk of losing him? Will Dortmund stick and twist rather than stick and actually keep him until next summer and try and gamble on getting more money next year? That's a huge, huge gamble from them. And the other element we need to focus on, the third element, is getting this deal done earlier, is because there isn't going to be a great deal of break, a large break for Man United. We are going to finish the Premier League season by the end of July and the domestic season. And then we're going to go into a 3-week period to complete Europe. By late August, the season ends. By around mid-September, you're talking a month, the new campaign begins. And Man United will want to hit that ground running. Man United will want to absolutely ensure that we're in the right frame of mind. We're in the right place. We've got all our ducks in a row ready to go. And I think bringing in a Sancho, keeping Paul Pogba, absolutely imperative when it comes to getting this done. It really, really is. And if we don't do it, if we drag our heels, if anything along those lines, that for me is big bad news. It really, really is. But I want your views. I want your opinions as always. Just delve in something more. By the way, morning, Dean Wiki. Hope you're well, mate. I really, really do. Let's see a few more comments coming through here. Rashford on the right wing position is his, period. Rashford doesn't play right wing, so I don't know why that's not his position. He plays on the left. Terry Sport Blinder saying that Sancho is not fully convinced of signing for Manchester United. He is waiting to see if they qualify for the Champions League. What is your take on this? I don't believe it. And I don't believe that story. It's that I trust Fabrizio Romano much, much more. The deal is that the personal terms have been agreed and confirmed. However, I'm convinced Man United are making the Champions League anyway. So I'm not worried about it either. Does that make sense? I'm not worried about it. I'm not concerned about it. I'm not frustrated about it. It is what it is. Let the story continue. Let the story continue. That's just the one element of the deal that I don't agree with. That we're being told about. The one element that I don't agree with is that Man United are in a position where the players overly considering the Champions League qualification. That just doesn't make sense to me. You know, you've got Timo Werner and Ziyech that have signed up to Chelsea. There's no guarantee of Champions League football there either, but they've still signed and agreed. There is still a chance. Chelsea's last 2 games, I think, are Liverpool and Wolves. They could miss out. You know, if they drop another 3 to 4 points between now and their last 2 games, Chelsea could conceivably miss out. But look who they're about to sign. And they will still sign Ziyech if they miss out. Sorry, they'll still sign Havertz if they miss out. They'll still get Chilwell if they miss out. It doesn't make sense. There's no evidence at the highest level that no top players will join a top team if they're not in the Champions League. Because some won't, but I just don't believe this one. Comment here says, hit the nail on the head. He's our plan A. Go get it done. And I agree. I totally agree. And by the way, we know these deals aren't always easy. They're not always quick. You know, Timo Werner revealed just yesterday that Chelsea were talking to him before lockdown begun. So this notion that Chelsea got the Werner deal signed and agreed in like 2 weeks is a complete and utter fabrication of the truth. However, I think 109 million pound is fair. I think it's a fair price for one of the best talents in the world. Bring him in, and then suddenly we have a quartet of Greenwood, Sancho, Martial, Rashford. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's scary. It's nuclear. There's no doubt about it. Get it done. Let's do a few more comments here. Terry, should United first get a centre-back? And then the next thing is to replace Matic slowly. I think addressing this right-hand side of the attack is the priority. We're still struggling after letting Ronaldo go, which was 11 years ago now, which is crazy. Centre back, yeah, maybe I think we've got to look at one. And replacing Matt. See, the Matic thing's interesting because a lot of people have been talking about, we've given Matic a new 3 year. We haven't given him a new 3 year deal. We've extended his current deal by 2 years. It's perfect business, in my opinion. There's no pay rise really, and it protects an asset. So if in 18 months we have somebody that's ready to replace Matic, you can then sell Matic on and get some of your money back. It gives you, if we just give him a year extension, in 18 months' time, he's not worth anything. He's literally worth nothing in the transfer market because people will just wait the extra 6 months. You can't even get rid of him in the January. But though, in at the end of 2 seasons' time, with a year left on his deal, you might pick up 7-8 mil for him. Now you're not going to get all your money back, but at the same time, he's been worth the money you've been paying him in that meantime because he's playing very, very well. It's a really good bit of business by Man United. We did the same thing with we extended the deals of Ashley Young a year ago, and everyone's like, how dare we? I said it along. It was an insurance policy in case we didn't land the replacements. But as soon as AWB came in and Williams started to emerge as being a decent player, we got rid of him. And we got a little bit of money for it. It paid for itself. It paid for itself. And people just got to understand the way the business elements of football works on a regular basis. Comment here says, all the criticism of Martial over the last years was a bit harsh. He just didn't get the quality of service that a striker in the Premier League deserves. Bruno, Pogba, rejuvenated Matic. Yeah, of course. And we understand. And look, there are definitely elements of Martial that you can criticize over the past 4 or 5 years. There are definitely times where he has looked disinterested. There are definitely times where I don't think he's worked hard enough on the field of play. Go back towards the end of last season. Him and Ollie had a massive falling out with the way he was warming up for a game, very lackadaisical. It looked like the end of him. But he responded. He came back to pre-season with a smile on his face, a spring in his step, fitter than he'd ever been before, working harder. And now, look, he's paying the dividends. And that's what happens with great man management. When you say to a player, you're talented, you're brilliant, we want you, but you've got to pull your socks up and work hard and you'll see the benefits. Martial gave Ollie a chance as much as Ollie gave Martial another chance. But Martial's now reaping the rewards. So what that does, it creates trust between the two. So now when Ollie says, do X, Y, and Z, Martial's going to listen to him because he knows the manager has got his back. He knows the manager is doing his best by him. And that's the important thing. Credit in the bank. Elite KJ, my guy here, says Sancho slots into the Avengers vibe. Add Grealish too, and the Avengers is looking wavy. Endgame levels. I agree with you, mate. You throw that in there. You got the full set there, bro. Got Grealish coming in like little Ant-Man, little backup. Do you know what I mean? Who would you name everyone as? That's the big question. So for me, Captain America, I'm putting down as Bruno. Pogba is Thor. I think just because he's the most powerful, our most potent, could play anywhere. You get what I mean? Like Thor is like deadly in any universe. Pogba's the same. And everything else, skillful, strategic, the lot. So they're them two. I'm going to throw in Grealish and say Ant-Man, like good backup as an example. Martial, who we say Martial is? That's what I'm going to put out to you guys. Who's Martial? Which one is Martial? Captain America can be Pulisic at Chelsea, but we can't. Bro, we're talking Man United here, bro. This is cringy. This ain't cringy, bro. It's only cringy if you're a little bit soft. Yeah, Bruno, Captain America, totally agree. What we saying about Martial? The Black Panther. I like that. I like that, Elite. Yeah, Black Panther. That's a good one. I'm liking that one. So, when I see Rashford, I see I look at Rashford as being Iron Man. I'm not even too sure why. I look at him as being Iron Man, as an example. Listen, I'm sorry to get rude here. We're talking Man United. So Pulisic can be Captain America at Chelsea, but he ain't in the Man United team, is he? Can't happen. Yes, of course. We know Wan-Bissaka, Spider-Man. That's already there. Yeah, Rashford is Iron Man. What would we call Mason Greenwood? Mason Greenwood's an interesting one. Who would Mason Greenwood be? I almost feel like a bit of Doctor Strange, I just feel like a little bit of Doctor Strange on that one. Just sort of brilliant. I like that. Who would Sancho be coming in? Who would Sancho be? I feel like I don't know, actually. Who would Sancho be? I'm just trying to think of all of them and where I'd put him in as. Who I'd put him in as? Hawkeye. Yeah, Hawkeye. Hawkeye's a great one. Hawkeye's a great one. Greenwood as Vision. I prefer that. I like that. That's a good one. There we go. We have to get that. We have to get someone to make that up. I have to get someone to make up the graphics for it. It looked great. No, Captain America doesn't need to be American. This is not the world we live in now. Anyone can be Captain America. Actors are actors. And this ain't real life, bruv. It's just jokes. Do you know what I mean? It's just jokes. I've just said that Paul Pogba doesn't have the same hair. Well, sometimes he has blonde hair, but Paul Pogba doesn't really resemble Thor. It's not about what they look like. It's about the character that they pick up. So we're putting characters together as opposed to what somebody physically looks like or what their passport says. Come on, man. Jose is Thanos. Agallo is Hulk. I like that. I sort of looked as, I like that. That's pretty good. Slabhead could also be him as well. United Avengers show coming soon. Yeah, man, that'd be a good show. That'd be a good show. Who is Matic? Matic. Who would Matic be? He'd have to be. I don't know. Who could he be? I feel like Doctor Strange's sidekick. Him. I don't know why he just popped into my head. I thought of him. I don't know all their names. I'm terrible. Super Gran. Carlson. I can give you a recap. So, Dortmund have supposedly given Manchester United a deadline of the 10th of August to get this deal done. The quoted price is £109 million, which is somewhere in the region of 120 million euros for Sancho to join Manchester United. This deal could be close to getting done. I want to know your thoughts and feelings on £109 million. Good, bad, or indifferent. Bruv, I know who Dan James can be. Dan James is definitely Rocket. Dan James can be Rocket, bro. I tell you who we're not thinking about, and who is she is the best Avenger. But again, in the modern day world, guys can definitely play girls. I love Captain Marvel, man. When Captain Marvel smashes through the spacecraft at the end of Endgame, I was cheering in the cinema. I was loving that moment. She is just badass, mate. No doubt about it. No. What is wrong with you? We're not talking DC here. So Dan James can't be a character that isn't in the Avengers, bruv. God damn it. Tim in the house says Matic, she's Deadpool. I like that. I do like that. Captain Marvel is a cheat code. Nah, a lot of people just didn't like Captain Marvel because she was a woman. If we had a guy that came in the same way Captain Marvel did, everyone would have been buzzing. But just because it was a woman, everybody got their, oh no, but it's not fair. You know what I mean? And she still didn't save the day. And it was right that Tony Stark saved the world. Tony Stark did what he did because the Avengers stemmed around him. But the interesting thing is, obviously, there's gonna be more Avengers films, but obviously, he's gone. Hulk's finished now because his arm's done. Black Widow's gone, of course. Vision's gone. Thor's retired. Although I heard there's going to be a new Thor. I heard that Natalie Portman was going to become the new Thor. I don't quite know how that works. Who else is there? Obviously, Tony Stark's gone. Captain America's now old. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited, but also sad because that cast is done. There we go. Ollie is Nick Fury, my guy, my guy. But listen, that's the news for you all this morning. That's the situation regarding Jadon Sancho and Manchester United. Do me a big favor, as always, hit the like buttons, hit the share buttons for us. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.